replaced by the waiting game. It's been 21 days since LeBron James told the Lakers he wanted to play a 24th season, just not with them. Teams like the Cavs, the Heat, 76ers, and Warriors made their pitches, and now they wait by the phone. LeBron James's agent, Rich Paul, told the Game Over podcast that we will keep on waiting.
We're not making this about attention and a spectacle. It's not about a decision or anything like that. He has a choice to make. He has a business choice to make. We're not going to sit here and decide or allow someone else to decide when he makes that decision. From a business perspective, you are making a choice between jobs, high-level jobs, and you've earned the right. You're a big-time executive that's with an unbelievable, arguably the best resume in the history of your job. Who's rushing you?
Okay.
Nobody.
All right, senior NBA writer Dave McMenamin is here to give us the latest. All right, Dave, what are you hearing about when we could possibly hear an announcement from LeBron?
Christine, I checked in with Rich Paul today on my way into the studio, and he told me, quote, nothing happening today. So I can at least tell you that much of an update as to when the announcement will be. Right now, it's up to LeBron. As Rich said in this podcast that he released on Monday, and when he reiterated on Pat McAfee's show today, LeBron has all the information. There's not like his team is waiting for other subsequent moves to be made. They're not asking for the interested suitors to send more pitches. It's just LeBron taking his time with this decision. Now, when I was in New York last week, covering LeBron's public appearances there, talking to people with some of the teams involved and some people with the NBA, there was hope that we would find out this week. We're 2 days into it. I didn't find out Monday, didn't find out Tuesday, and there's still a few more days this week, and we'll see.
Okay, we'll see what happens. So no rush for the GOAT, but like the rest of the world, the NBA teams in contention are patiently waiting. So how are those teams handling their roster moves in the meantime?
Well, this was actually pretty interesting. Rich Paul on the podcast said, if you have an open roster spot, don't wait for us. Like, fill it. And obviously, when LeBron's only asking for a league minimum, then you're not risking too much on a back-end roster spot if you feel that the need to fill it, because you'd be probably talking about a minimum guy anyway. So you could, if you really want to have an insurance that you're not going to be left out in the cold with nobody to fill that roster spot if LeBron moves on, you could sign a guy to a non-guaranteed contract. You could sign a guy and end up waiving him. You can have as many as 20 guys on your roster through the end of training camp before the regular season starts. And so I think the messaging there is like, just give us some patience here. We understand if you got to do what you got to do, but we're not waiting for something else. We're not asking you to like clear your books so LeBron gets paid more money. That's not what this wait is about. It's just giving him time to properly make, which will be probably the last consequential decision of his NBA playing career.
Okay, so we'll just take it day by day. Dave's full article on LeBron's pending decision is on ESPN.com.
All the bids are in, and my favorite part of this was Max Kellerman says to Rich, okay, well, we need to start with LeBron. He says, why? Why do we need to start with LeBron? Well, because it's the biggest question mark that's hanging over the NBA. So let's just reset on Tuesday, July 21st. Where do things stand here, Dave?
I checked in with Rich on my way into the studio. Quote, nothing happening today. So we're going to move on to day 22 at the very least. Listen, the teams that are in pursuit of LeBron, they're okay with this. It's not like because this is dragged into 3 weeks, the teams are starting to fall off in the race to get LeBron. It's a cost of doing business to some degree. Now, Rich is adamant that he doesn't know what LeBron's going to do, and LeBron doesn't know what LeBron's going to do. And so any amount of pressure from an outside team or from the league commissioner, Adam Silver, is not going to affect things. try to tell LeBron what to do, and that's not the best way to get him to move towards a decision. You work with him.
And you're not the only one, Dave, who's checking in with their sources this morning. I heard that one Mr. Kendrick Perkins has been making a couple of phone calls. Perk, what did you learn?
Well, I did. I had to call Rich Paul, little snotty nose ass, and I asked him, "Hey man, what is the holdup?" I said, "What is the holdup? Is it money? Does a team need to make a move?" And you know what Rich Paul told me? He said, "Perk, listen, man. This has nothing to do with money. Wherever LeBron James, the teams that are at the top of his list, they're all going to pay the same dollar amount. He's not asking a team to move anybody that's contradicting what they standing for. It's not about the money. It's about the fit. He's had his mind made up. Like, I believe that it's been a time where he had his mind made up, and then all of a sudden he's changed his mind and he's back to, the drawing board again. And what people have to realize is that, yes, he does have a wife, Savannah, who has an input, and he's also considering that in this decision. His daughter as well, and obviously Savannah would love to travel to LA to go watch her son Bronny get some minutes for the Lakers and play and watch him play at times. But they have another son that's down there in Arizona by the name of Bryce. And yes, Bryce didn't get a lot of minutes. Actually, he was a red shirt last year because he was going through the development process, but he's expected to play. So I know we all are anxious and want LeBron James to make a decision, but what I got from this call from Rich Paul is that, and I understand it now, he's like, Perk, I'm not going to rush, and he shouldn't rush. One, it's not about the money. He's not forcing the teams to make any type of trades or moves. It's solely about what's the fit, what's comfortable. So I'm pretty sure at some point throughout this process that he was leaning one direction, then all of a sudden he changed his mind. He was leaning another direction, he changed his mind, and it's part of it. We're talking about arguably the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball, and how he wants to end his legacy and end his legacy. Like, we all got to be patient, even me.
I think that's really interesting what you just said, Perk, because teams in the league, in the absence of information, in the absence of people saying he's leaning one way or leaning the other way, they're theorizing. I've talked to several of the teams that they're waiting on his decision, and the question is LeBron waiting for us to trade for someone? Does he want us to improve the team? There were theories. Does he want Kyrie Irving? There was this idea of Anthony Davis in Golden State. And these are theories, okay? But that's what happens when there's a vacuum of information, when people don't actually know what's in his head, when he's feeling.
That's why when you're told, in kind of interviewing one-on-one, when you stop talking, people feel the need to fill the void and fill the silence.
So
the same applies here.
But Rich explicitly said that there's nothing that teams should be doing right now.
Yeah, I mean,
in fact, he
I
said,
went and ran down those theories, and they're not true.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening right now as we wait.
Yeah, he said, even the podcast, if you have empty roster spots, don't wait on us. Like, fill them.
Yeah.
So.
And I'll tell you this.
I'd cut a number 12 guy for LeBron James if I had to, right?
Right. You could hold up to 20 guys in training camp.
Pau Gasol once told me in the midst of going through his free agency stuff that everything sounds good till you sign. And once you sign, it's done. And for LeBron James, this is the final chapter probably, right? Whether it's a 1 year or 2 year chapter. So I think maybe that is the hesitancy. When you're done, this is going to be the end of your legacy.